What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Tales from the Flipside. It's Monday night, Flipside episode 160.
You're listening to Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside. Tales from the Flipside.
Much love to everybody that's joining us live. We've got a full house again. I think that's 3 weeks in a row with a full house. Feels good. Dino, the CEO, flew right back from Florida just to hang out. He's got to make the show. The CEO's got to be here. Nico is chilling in the house. Paul showed up to, I don't know, we haven't heard a problem in a while, so I can't call him Paul's Problems anymore. Big Leg is in the house, and we have a special guest. Cosplayer extraordinaire Odfel is in the house. If you guys didn't check out her interview she did with Nico last week, I think we released it on Saturday. We released it, so a couple days ago. Make sure you guys go check it out. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified whenever cool videos like that drop. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. A lot of news, a lot of craziness, crazy market report. But the first thing that we're going to talk about is something that everybody's just going crazy about. I see news about it. I see crazy sales. And that is the talk about Calvin Ellis being our new DCEU Superman. There's a theory, a rumor out there that we're going to get a black Superman in the DC movie universe. I don't know. Is this going to be also translate into the DC universe in the comics, where this is Calvin's going to take over for Clark in the comics also? I think that a lot of this is just rumors right now, but hey, where there's smoke, there's fire sometimes. So we're going to talk about a little bit some of the info, and some of those books have been talked about for a while. I want to say that might have been an unpressable thing back in the day, talking about Final Crisis 7 and Action 9, which were some of the bigger books from that everybody's talking about right now. As a matter of fact, we probably had to pull those up. There were some crazy sales today. If I remember correctly, yeah, here we go. So these are some of the sales today of some of these books. We'll start off with Final Crisis. You can see $115 raw, $80 raw. You got 9. This is a 9.4 that went for $220. Just some really, really high sales on a book that was slowly creeping for a while. This has always been a book that people pick up when they see it for cheap. So it's not something that people didn't know about, but $250 for a 9.8. This was December 30th.
Yeah, that's December, man.
Yeah, yeah, holy cow. December, that person probably got himself a steal, because it looks like raws are going for $115, which is nuts. And then you also have the Action Comics 9, which came out shortly after that, and we're seeing some pretty crazy sales. Some of the big sales are on this one, if I'm correct, right, Nico?
Yeah, so there was apparently a CBCS 9.8 that sold for $3,000.
Wasn't it 2,000?
Was it 2,000 of the 1 and 200?
2,500. So
someone linked it in a hangout today. I think
there we go.
I think that sold for that did sell for 2 though.
Okay,
there we go. But still, let's be serious. If CGC, it would be 4. So
yeah, well, I mean, yeah,
makes no sense, but okay.
But it says first Ellis Superman. So is this the first time that he dons the Superman S, or he just shows up in Final Crisis 7? I don't know much about this character. I didn't spec very hard on this.
Yeah, but Brian, nobody knows much about this character. I mean, okay, so when I was hashtagging the IG post, there's 5,000 hashtags for Calvin Ellis. How many do you think there are for Miles Morales?
You tell me.
550,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, this is an established character, though. That's like,
I mean, I think that's like the only legitimate gripe is that it's just not a well-established character. So, I mean, it's cool that we're getting him on the big screen, but I hope that DC proper does a good job of giving him a series that people can read and enjoy before a live-action film. Otherwise, it's like
But has he been named? I didn't think he'd been named.
No, not at all.
I thought this was spec because Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing it.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. And
Screen Rant, which makes sense, to be honest.
Screen Rant
work, it makes sense.
Is running with the idea. They I think, are behind a lot of the excitement around the alleged plot line.
Yeah, he's a prolific writer of like African American studies and such. He's well more famous for his work outside of comic books than anything that he's done for Black Panther or anything else.
It says here, Cates, is it Cates or Coates? Ta-Nehisi Coates is penning the screenplay that will reportedly feature a black Superman. Okay. So again, this is all sounds like still rumor and nothing based in any fact other than, like you guys are saying, he's writing it. But it'll be interesting. It's kind of hard for an all-white panel to kind of ask whether or not America is ready for this character or whatever. So I don't think we need to do that. What we can do is talk a little bit about what these books are selling for, and do we think that they're going to continue to sell? Probably, Nico, did you get a chance to look at the data on like how many of those copies are out there and whatnot?
No, I didn't pull the CGC data. Please forgive me. I just kind of familiarized myself a little bit with the plot line. So basically you've got a character who is president of the United States by day, a different multiverse iteration of Superman. And, frankly, I'm not even aware of whether or not like Lex Luthor is the big villain or how that all shakes out. But I'm excited about it. Coates is a exceptional writer. I really think the guy's super smart, and this will be good for America. It just will.
Yeah. Well, maybe we will find out more in the weeks to come, but keep your eye on some of those books, man. If that Action 9 variant sold for $2,000 for a 9.8, that is absolutely outstanding. And real quick, Charm City Comics, thank you so much for the $10 donation. We appreciate all the super chat, you guys. You guys have really warmed our hearts as the Flipside channel in the last couple weeks. It's been absolutely bonkers, the amount of super chats and comments and love that you guys have been showing us with views and likes and comments, letting us know how we're doing. And I implore you guys, please continue to tell us what we do good, what we can do better, what you like about the channel. That is all helps immensely in what we're doing over here. So thank you for that. All right. One of the crazy things is that, we don't have very many cons and stuff going on. We talked about this last week, and here we have somebody who, talked about it a little bit in their interview with Nico last week about, not having these cons and not being able to do this stuff. And one of the things that is happening is you're getting these small cons. Odfel, are you getting able to get back into going out to these smaller cons and doing the cosplay thing?
I'm still mostly just kind of relegating myself to doing like location shoots and self shoots, at least until the vaccines roll out. That may change, but also with smaller cons, like I primarily work weekends, so it's harder to justify taking off that time unless it's something I really want to get to. So right now I'm still hesitant on conventions, but it's good to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we might have events that are back to normal size by the end of the year. Yeah, and Dino just recently got back from a small con. I think you guys are getting ready to go hit up another small con coming here soon. Let's talk about that. What is this small con that you guys are gonna join and hang out and drop some Flipside love at?
Yeah, so Harper Cons in Ohio are an institution. They are your traditional small comic shows. They've been around for decades. I actually set up the very first Harper Con that I was involved in, like in the 90s when I was a little kid, and kept my receipt. So when I got back into comics, I found it in a comic box. And when I reached out to him to try to rent a table, he was like, "Oh, we're full." And then I sent him a picture of that receipt, and he's like, "I'll find room for you."
Cool.
So Sleepy John and I are gonna split just like a 6-foot table. Don't tell Harper. I'm basically paying to get in early.
Somewhere to leave your bag.
So only one person is allowed only one person's allowed behind the table at a time. We'll fill it up. Don't get me wrong, but I don't have to rent a minivan to take books up there. I won't have a wall.
I think I'm gonna sell. I think I'm gonna sell Nico's and Sleepy's books.
I think I need help selling my books, but I'll bring whatever anybody wants if anybody's interested in stuff. I mean, you tell me and I got it.
Pop
Maybe.
Archival and Chris Colbert, thank you guys so much. Pop Archival says, thanks for everything you guys do. And make sure you guys are following Pop Archival on Instagram. We're actually going to talk about one of his posts later in the show when we get to talking about trading cards and stuff. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Your man, Stan, thank you so much for this. You guys are solid as a rock. Thank you. We appreciate that. And also, you guys, we appreciate everybody out there that is part of this community and does it with integrity. Hashtag honesty in comics in 2021. So keep that thought and this community rolling. You talked about...
here's what's crazy about these small cons, Brian, right? Like at least this one. We've got golden age dealers. Like there's a little couple. They're, I hate to speculate about their age, but they get the early bird dinner. You know what I mean? Like they get those discounts and they have major books that they bring, right? Like just major books to these small cons. You'll see like, I don't know, Crime Suspense Stories 22, Chamber 19s, like just these horrific ones, just monster books.
At this little show?
Little last show, right? Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, it's tremendous. And
no wonder you won in early. You're hoping these old farts didn't catch on to some of these prices.
Well, that's the thing. So like the last time I was at a HarperCon, I got a Batman Beyond 1 third print. It was me, Stein, Half Price Crook, Sleepy, Mercenaut, God, who else was there? TJ Timebomb, who's a usual listener and arguably better than all of the rest of them at digging books, and Keith and Sean, who are Nerdbox Comics, and they're arguably, again, better than all of the names that you guys are familiar with. Like all these just incredible diggers, and everybody pulls deals. The hard part is selling books there. I've never figured out how to do it because it's like the 500 best flippers in a 500-mile radius sort of like descend on this little swap meet and, just hammer the dealers there. So if
it's cold, it's cold out there, man.
Yeah.
Like we got, over here in California, man, we can dig 365 days a year. Shit never gets left behind. You can't find a damn thing out here.
Well, and there's certain places open where there's also certain places that aren't open. So I bet you people are itching to be digging through some long boxes, man.
I'm gonna set up an artist alley and I'm just gonna sign autographs. So let's do that. Come on, I'm not.
Sign people's laptops.
Maybe I'll do it. Do it up, man.
Do it, brother.
Like this is an antique laptop Nico uses. It's from 1996.
Real fast, you guys, we have 105 live viewers right now. Thank you guys for everybody that's watching. Give a thumbs up if you like the show. Let us know how we're doing. But since we've got a bunch of people on, I want to do the quick giveaway for these. If you guys remember, we have a giveaway for these 2 HaHa books. This is the wonderful, beautiful Wanted Comics John Gallagher variant. Absolutely gorgeous. And everybody that commented from last week's show on the YouTube video has a chance to win. And we asked the question, what was the 2 books that were used in this homage? And most people got the Chamber of Chills right.
I hope so. Jesus.
Yeah, but not a single person got the what we call it, the second homage right. Yeah. Most people thought that it was Killing Joke. As a matter of fact, I think it was like 90% of the people. I don't even think a single person commented about it being the right book.
But you know what? That little logo does look like the Killing Joke. That's a pretty damn good guess.
Yes. So we're gonna and I'm just showing everybody here. You guys can see all the comments here. So we are going to give away that book because nobody really got it. We're just going to give it away to all the people that whoever commented. And the book that it was supposed to be. Does anybody on the panel know?
Joker one.
Yes, sir. That is the book. And Sean, you should know the story a little bit better than the rest of us on what was the reason and kind of what they talked about doing for that, why he chose Joker number one.
Does it have to do with the story?
Yeah, well, I didn't read
number two yet.
Yeah, he really wanted, if I remember correctly, and Drew's going to kill us for if we don't get this right. But if I remember correctly, he really originally wanted to do an homage to this. He kind of had the idea that he wanted to homage Joker 1, and it just wasn't in the cards, obviously. Yeah. And so in order to, kind of get that Joker love in there, he said, there we go. There's Drew in the chat. He said, I really wanted, to show off the pinstripes. And that's what you guys see in the haha cover. If you look, we kind of gave the idea to look at the, what do they call that on the cufflink?
Cufflinks.
Yeah. And maybe we kind of screwed the pooch on that one. But
Killing Joke's a good guess, though, dude. I have to say.
It is. It's a great guess. And all right, here we go, guys. There's this fancy YouTube thing that I found that picks a random winner. So here's going to be our winner for that haha trade set. You're going to get the Virgin and the trade, and it looks like it's Leftover Zaggy, who said Chamber of Chills and the Killing Joke. Good luck all. Great show, guys, as usual. So Leftover, hit us up at Tales from the Flipside channel at gmail.com or on our IG at Tales from the Flipside. Let us know what book you won, which is haha number 2, the Wanted Comics set. And we will get your shipping information and get these sent out to you. So make sure to hit us up. There you go.
The best news, you are not a leftover tonight.
No, you're not.
You're the big winner.
Because I think people are still waiting to get their sets. I imagine with how crazy the U.S. Post.
Monday.
Okay,
but I know that part of the United States is screwed up. But priority everybody shipped by Monday. So.
And Drew is doing
last Monday.
Yeah, and if you guys follow Drew on Wanted Comics on IG, that's Wanted Comics with an X. There we go. Leftovers in the chat. Hell yeah, brother. Nice, good luck or congratulations on that. That's a killer set. All right. The next kind of piece of news that's everybody's talking about is WandaVision. Did you guys all see it? Anybody not see it?
I didn't because I was in Florida.
I didn't because I was gone this weekend, but go for it.
Odfel?
Yeah, no, I watched that like so fast.
Okay, good. I did too. And I know, Nico, did you see it?
If we're going to be real honest, I literally come home from work Thursday and go to bed so that I can wake up at the crack of dawn and watch it.
Yeah.
There is no delay.
Yeah, it's a good one. Paul, you see it?
No, I haven't yet, but I'm late on.
Well, we're gonna talk the shit out of it because it was good. Basically, the big thick book that everybody's talking right now is West Coast Avengers 45 because of the White Vision announcement or scene at the very end. Basically, they took all the parts of Joker, Jesus Christ, of Vision, and professional podcaster here, of Vision, and put them back together. And when he powered on, it was all white. And of course, everybody's been waiting for this. They've been talking about it for a while, but some of these prices are absolutely bonkers.
Hey, you guys want to give one of those away?
Yeah.
We don't want to put you out a whole $1, dude.
Same rules. It was 50 cents. Same rules as last time.
Yeah, so make sure if you guys want to win one of these books, this raw West Coast Avengers 45, make sure you guys put a comment below after the show on YouTube. and let us know your favorite part of WandaVision so far, and also let us know what you think of the show and how we're doing.
Okay, so I know it's White Vision, obviously. So I apologize for not watching. That's what I should have done today, but I didn't. Does anything of West Coast Avengers 45 actually have anything to do with, in the story, have anything to do with the WandaVision, other than it's just the first, supposedly the first White Vision? Anybody have any idea? I mean,
does anybody read West Coast Avengers? I've never read it, but
I've read it, but I don't remember. I read it collected, so I couldn't tell you if some of the stuff has happened in this issue specifically, but a lot of stuff from West Coast Avengers has been what the show's been based off of. But yeah, since I read collected, like I couldn't tell you the exact issue.
Well, yeah, a big shout out to JJ Maxwell and Newbie Comics, letting us know on this, because this is the perfect example. They're saying nope, and I see comments also saying, this is a $1 book last year, and it's going to be 3 weeks now. People are going to be laughing at this, but I was watching Newbie Comics the other night, and he was talking about a CGC 9.8 copy of this sold for $1,500.
White Vision or Deadpool? White Vision or Deadpool?
Right? Like, what the?
That was Stein's. Obviously, got that from his top 10. But that's just a good analogy, dude.
Two copies sold in 9.8. I hear now. So it's
both of them. The 2 times anybody ever graded them.
Thanks, Rico. That's great. Look at we're getting European. We're getting European money now.
Hell yeah, man!
That could that might even be a pound, bro.
That might be.
We'll send a pound out.
I thought that was
pounds
5
from across the sea.
I like it.
I know.
Yeah, West Coast Avengers is the Thor God of Thunder early 2021. Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. It's gonna tank that West Coast. Okay, well, we'll see. Like a lot of people, I don't think they realize.
But what's tanking? I mean, I don't think it goes back down to a $1 book. Do you think it settles back down to maybe a $50 book? I mean, raw, I guess. I mean, maybe it's a $40 book.
Well, here's the interesting thing, right? A lot of this spec is probably also going off right now because look at this, 228.
Jeez.
228.
Hey, he has CGC in it, so
yes, CGC it.
New standard variant, CGC it, maybe 9.9.
Yeah, Jesus, 242 for a set. But anyways, like the figures have started popping up again. We the whole Mephisto thing was a fake, but some of the pops have been showing up with White Vision. Some of the action figures are showing White Vision. So this is a character that, if they're making action figures are we going to see this is how they're bringing Vision back, right? Do they want Vision to continue in the MCU? And this is how, because Vision stayed White Vision for a long time, for like 10 years, if I remember correctly. Because that's when I was reading comics back, as in my early teenage years. I think this was when this West Coast Avengers run came out. So I remember that as a youngster, and he stayed that way for a while. So not until I think he came back. He died and he came back in like New Avengers or something. I don't know. Anyways, if they plan on keeping this character around for a while, and this is how they bring him back, maybe this book does see a little bit of heat lengthwise. It doesn't turn into a $1 book in 3 weeks. But it all depends on this final episode of WandaVision.
Dude, they could kill him again for all
this was a $1 book. This
was definitely never a $1 book. That's not true.
You're crazy. I've found this book 100 times.
That's a different thing. Finding books in dollar bins and then being $1 books are completely different things.
Yeah, okay, that's what I mean by that.
Key.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's probably a $10 or $15 book.
Yeah. Now, they're still in dollar bins. Let's not.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, let's not kid, right? Like they're still out there in dollar bins.
Everyone next Sunday, that's all they're going to look for. Or this Sunday.
Yeah, if they made a Funko Pop for a 10-second scene, then Funko's killing it, man. They're killing it.
They're going to make money on it. They will.
Just
so good at the con. So at the con, everybody's looking for that book. So you got to look for what they're not looking for. That's every con.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Backlists of weird shit.
You think I can sell? You think I can sell my other copy?
Maybe.
I gotta find the rest of them. I know I got more somewhere.
Dino, bring it, or Nico, bring it to the con for trade.
We could.
You'll get laughed out of there.
I might try to give one away. So this is one of those conventions that's miserable where the guy's got like the microphone and he's trying to give away like free things.
Oh, you mean like at my con? And
it's horrible. And I just want to I want to pay him for silence. Like an hour of silence brought to you by George.
Let's talk about what we think is coming in the final episode, right? So we're getting one more episode. Everybody thought we were getting more because there was this crazy rumor going around that the final 3 were going to be hour-long episodes, and the last 2 episodes were definitely not hour-long, so that kind of pissed me off. But we do have one more episode left, and I guess this is going to be a 2-hour-long episode. Does everybody know if that's for sure?
God, I hope so.
I mean,
I haven't heard that, but I hope.
Yeah, that would be like, where's the hour-long episodes? Anyway, so hopefully we'll get longer than 30 minutes.
I heard, I guess my rumor I heard was that if you watch it with the subtitles on or the captions on, you get more information. But I don't know if that's verified or not. Speculation.
Yeah, I watch with captions.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
it's not a big gift, but...
Well, this one is going to answer a lot of questions for us because we still haven't gotten our big cameo appearance, right? So who do we think that's going to be? Is obviously it's got to be Doctor Strange. He's got to show up in this episode, right?
Magneto?
Ooh.
I think Doctor Strange will probably be the post-credit scene, just like a tie-in for the film. I went back and watched the interview where they said there's a big reveal, and I'm wondering if it just is White Vision and it's a troll, because Paul Bettany's like, it's someone I've always wanted to work with. Like, we have great chemistry. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. And I'm wondering if it's just him acting with himself. So, I mean, there still could be a big reveal, but at this point, I'm kind of wondering if it's mostly just going to be that. I don't know.
Man, that would be the biggest troll of Paul Bettany if he pulls that off, right? If that's the thing that they've been talking about this whole time, that him acting with himself is the role of the person.
That's never really been Marvel's thing, though. I mean, they usually will throw something out there to appease people and get people excited for the next thing.
Yeah.
The thing that's wild about this one is that the rumored guest appearances, one has just been greater than the next, right? Like, they're like, it's going to be Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro as Mephisto. You're just like, what the fuck? And, here we are, and it's like, okay, so are you guys going to tell that House of M thing, kind of, sort of? I mean, they straight away said, Feige did, this will introduce the X-Men. Now we're not sure if Quicksilver was a Gollum or from a different dimension or what the hell's going on there. I mean, if it's not 2 hours, I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed Marvel fans, and that's, like Stein said, not something that Marvel tolerates. I mean, they do not disappoint.
But do you want 2 hours for it to be crummy, or do you want 50 minutes and to it really juice you up?
It's going to be 50 minutes. The finale is 50 minutes. That's
50 minutes of pure rock star. You know?
Well, you brought up the House of M stuff, and I'm thinking that that's what we're going to get, that something's going to happen to the kids that's going to make her completely flip out, and that's what she's always wanted, and we're going to see flip the fuck out Wanda in Multiverse of Madness. She's just going to be super crazy, and that's the whole House of M thing going on, right?
Yeah, I think if we get a new character at this point, it's probably going to be the villain for the Doctor Strange movie. And I think we're going to see a lot more of Disassembled in maybe the end of Multiverse of Madness being more like House of M.
That would be interesting. Ooh, that would be interesting. Because then they could use that Vision character too, right?
Yeah, because we're establishing a new Hawkeye, so if they kill Hawkeye off like they do in Disassembled, it wouldn't be as lost, they could do a lot more, I feel like, with the Disassembled storyline with the cast that we have.
Yeah, I'm really excited for where this is going. And the funny thing is that, we're all talking about Multiverse of Madness and this stuff, and that's not even our next thing. Our next thing is Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? That's coming beginning of March.
Middle
middle March?
And then
the 14th, I think is so. Is that as far as like the timeline? Is Falcon and Winter Soldier the same timeline as WandaVision, or is it actually after? I mean, like, is this like a continuous timeline, or is this happening at the same time?
I'll take a look.
I don't know if they've said. I know in between the weeks they're dropping another preview thing and a behind the scenes of WandaVision, and they might say so then. But I haven't seen anything say when it's taking place yet.
Okay.
Yeah, could the Marvel timeline be any more confusing?
Yeah, it could be Star Wars.
For the love of Christ. Oh my god. Oh.
I got Marvel down, dude.
I just can't figure out the because it's like end of Endgame, 5 years in the future for Spider-Man. Where's Captain?
At least there's a new Star Wars timeline variant on eBay.
Oh my god, yeah, we got to
that
about
ties
that.
a lot of stuff together, right?
Well, it says here that Falcon and Winter Soldier is taking place immediately after Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
So
cool.
And we don't really know where the timeline is for WandaVision, right? Right now.
I think it's pretty much immediately after. I think it is.
When everybody showed back
months?
up.
I think just weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that like little town of what is it, Westfield, Westover, whatever the hell it is.
Westview?
Yeah, Westview. I don't think it lasted that long, right?
I love the fact that we got her calling her Scarlet Witch. And if you remember in the comics, that when she says that, that's when Wanda finally gets fully powered. She actually calls her the Scarlet Witch, right? Agatha calls her the Scarlet Witch in Avengers. What is it, West Coast Avengers or Avengers 185 or 186? I can't remember. It's one of those.
I think it's Avengers 186. But let me ask you this, guys. Do you think that they're going to call Wanda a mutant because she had the witch powers as a child?
She's a mutant, right?
Well, she certainly is in comics. I mean,
but she got the powers from the.
She got supercharged by the Infinity Stone.
Is Wolverine? TV. Don't they consider Deadpool and Wolverine mutants?
Wolverine,
because of their healing factor, right? Wolverine's healing factor. Yeah, but I don't know what they consider Deadpool.
Yeah, but they weren't with Weapon X. They weren't born with it.
Don't your mutant powers manifest in like times of extreme distress?
Yes.
So I think now that they own the rights, they could tie that in where the bomb was sitting in their living room, right? In the movie. So that could have been her time of extreme distress.
I could see them doing it. I don't think they'll address it until at least phase 5.
Yeah, that's interesting. You think they're going to take that long to bring in the mutants?
Yeah, Kevin Feige said it'll probably take like 5 years before we see like any like true X-Men property. So that'll probably be, from what I'm estimating, the very beginning of phase 5.
Jeez.
Do you think we'll see Young Avengers before we see mutants?
I could, if we keep getting TV shows at the rate that we are, I could see it, because I could see them kind of pulling together that team over different TV shows. But it's so hard to tell. But like, they've already got movies slated for 2023, so it's kind of like, shoot, okay. I could see them slowly start putting mutants, but I don't know. I think they're gonna.
Uh-oh. Why would you guys kick her from the stream? Nico, stop clicking buttons on that old laptop.
Oh boy.
Sorry about that. Says why? Yeah. They say why bring? Sean says why bring in Quicksilver, and that is a great question to ask. We still don't know. I know that Agatha did say that she had to use what type of spell, exorcism spell on him or something like that. So she was making him say what he said, but she didn't bring him. She just kind of put it in his head to say what he said. So that'll be interesting to find out.
There's a couple really interesting things about that too, because like he's the only person that shows up that when he does, like the sensors out in Sword light up like someone actually arrived. So there's a lot of theories that, was it a red herring because we have like meta knowledge and are quick to believe it? But like he's the only person that just shows up that all of a sudden there's like alarms for. So it could be multiverse stuff.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that somebody, for some reason, they just picked him out of the multiverse, and that's how they're going to. They had such a great opportunity to use that. But I always say, when I always get angry when I say, "Oh man, they messed that up. They had a great opportunity." Well, they probably have something better planned, like Kevin Feige.
I trust Marvel much more than I do DC with this stuff. Like they have the mutants, and so they're going to do it right. They have an ace in the hole. Why would they slip up and do something silly? They know what they're doing. So you're right. Absolutely. We have the meta knowledge. So we just have to watch it, enjoy it, and, enjoy the ride.
Was Westview ever named in the comics? Like, is there any relation, or could that be like a West Coast Avengers fucking, like, sort of like nod?
I was kind of worried about that because it just says they live in New Jersey. It doesn't say where. Yeah. So like I can't. I personally can't think of another Westview reference in a comic. So maybe it is a West Coast Avengers nod.
I do hope that they use him as an actor for Quicksilver. I think that's rather than it just being a nod. I think it'd be cool if somehow he was involved, whether it be multiverse or something that would at least tie it up if it was maybe a longer nod, if that makes sense, rather than just never speak. They can't just not speak of it again.
Yeah. I hope not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. We've got a couple more days and the finale will be here. So I'm not sure. Is it like 3 a.m.? It comes out 3 a.m. Eastern time. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's fun on the West Coast that we get to see it a decent time before. Yeah.
Yeah, the one eye open.
Yeah.
Stumbling in like, all right, man, let's watch WandaVision.
Come on, here we go. Something. Let's jump to some. We've got some crazy, stuff in the market report, but I want to jump to some card talk real quick because it was recently announced that PSA had upped their pricing. And not only have they upped it a little bit, they upped it by 50%. Like it's 100% double. It's double. So instead of $10 a card, it's now $20 a card for the value packages, $50 a card for economy, $100 a card for regular, $150 for express, and $300 for super express. That is absolutely crazy. But they are getting so many cards, and I want to give a shout out to Pop Archival on IG and Pop Shipper. Make sure you guys go follow them at Pop Archival. They have a lot of cool stuff. They sent us some of these really cool Pop Shippers that we are going to be using here in the coming months to send something in. So I want to show something that was kind of interesting. I'm not going to play the audio, but this was really interesting to me because he was showing his submission that he had recently opened a bunch of comic and sports cards, or trading card and sports card boxes, different stuff, and pulled all cards that he thought were gradable. And look at all these cards that he's shipping out. I think I forget how much he said it was. I think it was like almost 400 cards. But
as he's going to take a second mortgage out.
Well, here's the thing: the amount of money that he saved by shipping these cards out that day as the next day was like ridiculous. I think he says it. It says here, God.
Gosh, that's so true.
Yeah, it saved him thousands of dollars to send this shipment out.
Well, I mean, you can just rough it. I mean, if it's 400 cards, and if you did it on like the $10 service, I mean, that was $4,000, and now it would be $8,000. So,
397 cards. He saved $4,200 by shipping it out the day before.
I know they get a lot more submissions, obviously, than CGC, but I haven't really forayed yet into submitting the cards that I want to submit, or even personally grading to put together the piles, even though I know where to look. I mean, I can't imagine, like, honestly, like I had books go out to CGC today. I can't imagine if it was like double. Like I'd be
right.
like I like, you know, because but like I wouldn't be surprised if prices go up because, like, I'm gonna be honest, like almost any moderns, at the prices that they're at, I wasn't grading 9.6s, much less 9.4s. I wouldn't even. I just fuck it. I'll ask for a nice price on eBay for a near mint or near mint plus copy. I wouldn't bother to grade it. And now books, like, it just all, hey, I'm 9.6s are selling depending on the book.
Yeah.
A lot of 9.4s are selling. I'm selling, like, I sold a 9.2 the other day, and I was saying, screw it, like, I'll go for it, man. But like, I didn't have the. I'll tell you what, like, I would be a lot pickier if they doubled their price tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
I mean, he won't see those cards till 2024 anyway.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Well, again, make sure you guys are following him on IG. It's at Pop Archival, as you guys can see right here. And it's fascinating. He gives some really good information about grading and what to look for, and it's just a fascinating follow. So make sure you guys follow him. But one of the crazy cards that I don't want, it's just too crazy for what it sold for to not talk about it now and not in the market report. And that is this Luka Doncic rookie, the Logo Man rookie, sold for $4 million. You guys.
4.6.
4.6 million.
It was closer to
with a check
for a 22-year-old
who hasn't won a chip.
No, dude, he has nice.
It was 5 million. Sorry,
the whole 16 and 16. I looked this morning just to check.
5.8 million for all there was like 5 cards that he bought for 5.8 million. One card was 4.6, and that was the Logo Man Luka, the most expensive a card has ever sold for, right, Ben?
At least in basketball.
Yeah.
I hope it's not windy that day when he's carrying that check into the bank. Jeez.
Well, let's talk about Logo Mans just in general. I mean, we've seen Kawhi Logo Mans, Zion Williamson Logo Mans. I mean, it's it's
a 1-of-1 rookie auto, like that hits the 3 major points, right?
Yeah, memorabilia. That hits the points. See how they're going to try to change the logo? They want to change it to Kobe.
Yeah.
I can't quite figure out why would you go with Kobe and not Jordan. If you're going to go with anybody, you would change it to Jordan, not Kobe.
Because he had a bad helicopter pilot one day.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It is what it is. They want to memorialize him. He passed away. That's why they're doing it. They want to memorialize him. So
then retire his number. Then, like Jordan, like nobody can wear that number. Then there.
Well, which number? 13 or 8?
8
or whatever. 24.
24. But
do all of them.
8.
I wouldn't even. Dude, I don't wear Kobe numbers
for all time. I don't know if you should change the logo to anything.
It's the logo, dude. Jerry West's nickname is the logo.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean,
they mad he works for the Clippers now. I'm not.
Yeah, Mark Cuban bought it. It'd be interesting to find out.
I don't know. Maybe give it to. I don't know. Anyway,
wait, Cuban bought that card?
Yeah.
No, that guy bought that card.
Yeah, no, a different guy bought it. This guy, yeah, a different guy bought it. This guy is
it's got
Shine 150. His name is Aaron.
Shine, isn't he in jail? It's that rapper that sounds like
Big here. Today is a big day in the hobby. It just happens to be Luka's birthday as well, which is pure coincidence. Being this is such a significant deal, I had to make it public. Logo Man 1-of-1 from National Treasures, 4.6 million for the card. I don't even know if it says his name.
This is interesting.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah,
get a real job, bro.
Listen, these fungible token things is absolutely mind-boggling to me. It makes my head hurt. We've all seen the craziness with the Pokemon cards. Logan Paul just opened another box. I think he pulled 2 of the Charizards from this box. Ken Golden was there with him in studio to go through the Pokemon box. It was probably another $500,000 box of cards that he opened, which is mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. But one of the other things are these non-fungible token Top Shot basketball cards or Pokemon non-fungible NFTs that they're selling. They're basically just like clips. They're digital clips of whatever. I guess Logan Paul is selling digital clips of him pulling the Charizard cards.
I get it, but I don't at the same time, because it's like Joe's right. It's like Bitcoin. But Bitcoin makes more sense to me than buying a digital card. It's like, to me, like, the closest thing that I can get it to in my head is Comixology or digital comics. Like, why would I buy the $8 X amount more dollar for the variant cover on a digital comic than I would just the $4 or whatever for the regular? I don't know. I just can't grasp it.
Well, let me ask this: as Nico likes to throw in from the back seats, that Odfel looks as interested as he is when we talk about cards.
Who's George?
Yeah. Odfel, let me ask you: do you know about these NFTs, and have you ever looked into them? And I wonder if this might be something that cosplayers would look into.
I have not. I'm not entirely sure what all goes in with them. Oh, I don't have a hair tie. I spent all that time pointlessly.
I feel your pain.
But no, I
NFT
don't
hair tie. That's what I mean.
It's been absolutely crazy trying to keep Pokemon on the shelves and even available for kids at this point. Because like anytime it's out, it's just instantly wiped. I haven't seen this in a long time, and we've had secret layers and stuff for Magic, and everything that's going on with Pokemon has just been absolutely absurd.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that, because you do work in a comic shop, and I couldn't imagine the amount of people that are coming in asking for trading cards right now of all kinds is absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys Go ahead.
Oh no, it's just insane. Like, we have limits on how many you can buy. If it's someone that clearly is like there to buy and flip, we're like, sorry, we're sold out. Like, it's been absolutely insane. We've started telling people to go to Cracker Barrel because apparently Cracker Barrel's selling them now. Like, it's hard.
She just dropped some free cornbread, everybody, for all those Pokemon fans who are looking for cards. Hit up Cracker Barrel.
They actually built their first one like 30 miles from here in California in history.
Oh, I love Cracker Barrel back in the day, man. Fried okra and blueberry pancakes.
Our
Brian,
local.
do you remember or anyone else like GPK? Man, when I was a kid, like there'd be like, I mean, you get them at 7-Eleven in the gas station. Circle Arizona
quarter a pack.
Right? Yeah, it's quarter a pack, but they try to limit them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like
3 packs a person. I remember.
Yeah, I'm sure it varied per store. It wasn't like Target is now with like a national thing, but it was just like that. You're like, oh man, you try to get in there because I'm sure everybody, and there wasn't a secondary market. It's just kids like us wanted them.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there would be at a card show or something, but it was like us. It was like we used to get 7-Eleven and Circle K. I remember. I told this Brian before. I remember going with my grandfather. Man, it's probably 1985 or something. And the lady, she says, "Do you have Garbage Pail Kids?" And she says, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'll take whatever you have." So they're 25 cents a pack. Like that's a pretty easy way to appease your kids or your grandchildren or whatever. So we grabbed them. I don't remember. There's 3 or 4 packs left. And the lady says, "Hallelujah, we're out of Garbage Pail Kids." just telling anybody there's no more GPK left, man. But it kind of reminds me of that.
Dude, our local Toys R Us would get trucks on Thursdays. And I would call on Thursdays, and I couldn't even finish the word Pokemon. I'd call and say, "Hey, do you have any Poke?" And he said, "Nope," and hung up on me.
That's about the point I'm getting at. Like, people call, and I'll be like busy, and I'm like, "Oh, I already know what it's going to be before I even answer."
Right?
Like,
right.
I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call tomorrow and just ask you.
We used to tell people not to do that.
What's the store number? Can we put it on a ticker on the bottom? So
the store number.
Oh God, no.
Well, what's funny is
it's been crazy because we have parents come in complaining because we went to Target to get my kid like their weekly Pokemon card, and the guy in front of us put 8 boxes in his cart, and I'm like, I can't control that. Like,
right.
So it's a balance of like, okay, capitalize on selling this, but also save some for children because there's so many kids that like get a pack or 2 a week that like I've had to tell we're sold out for the past like 4 months.
Hey,
sorry.
Does your store have like a hold thing, like for regular customers that are getting them for their kids? Like, hey, Sally Smith, like I have your 2 packs for your son Joey Smith or whatever. Does your store do stuff like that?
I don't know if we have any on people's subscription polls, but I know we have like some extra packs and stuff behind the register for like kids and stuff that we just don't put out.
Good.
And we've started limiting the amount of packs too, just because I'm like, man, like kids don't care if they get a Charizard; they just want their weekly pack. Like,
yeah,
right.
So it reminds me of balance.
It reminds me of Cabbage Patch Kids, and when they were reselling Cabbage Patch Kids, and the moms would go in there and just run over each other for them. That's what it feels like. It's all these flipper dudes going in and just. There's videos, and we've all seen it. We've all tried to go into our local Target or Walmart and caught the guy there, and there's guys just waiting behind him, like waiting for him to put him on the shelf so they could just put it all in their cart. And people are fighting shoot on Mel V's show. He was telling a story about how I think he talked about it on Hot 10, where 2 guys got into a fight in his comic store over the latest Pokemon release. And so the comic store, the Shining Fates or whatever, the Pokemon store, the card store or comic store was like, both of you aren't getting either one of those. And Mel was like, I'll take them. So he gets, their stuff because they got in a fight over.
My man.
Nice.
It is absolutely crazy, and there's some crazy stuff to talk about in the market report. We'll get on to that later. But real fast, we have 160 live viewers right now, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, let us know how we're doing. But while we have a bunch of viewers hanging out right now, I want to talk about something that hit really hard, hit home for the Flipside family. For those of you guys that don't know or haven't seen Saturday's show, Modern Comic Mayhem, we have a member of the Flipside family, Corbin, who is a host over at Modern Comic Mayhem. Some of you guys might know him as DC Corbin the Barbarian, a really good guy, just super energetic, young comic fan that really enjoys talking about comics. And he recently had some shitty stuff happen, and him and his brothers were out playing basketball one night in a small town, Phoenix area, Chandler, Arizona area. And some people came up and decided to open fire. Corbin's, I believe, 12-year-old brother was shot twice, one in each leg. One leg, his femoral artery was hit, and they're doing their best to save Corbin's brother's leg and life right now. He looks like he is going to make it, but unfortunately his leg isn't doing so good. And they are having the I guess you would call it medical is being taken care of. So this GoFundMe isn't for the medical. This GoFundMe is for the reward to capture the shooters. And for whatever reason, the local police have come out and said that they really can't do much more to help. And they don't know who these cats are and what's happened. So this is really infuriating, and it also goes to show how well we can do when family members or community members are in crisis in this community. Drunken Chat has said that they're going to do their best to also help next week. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our best to match whatever we raise for Corbin's brother in this GoFundMe. They've already got, looks like almost $10,000 raised of a $20,000 goal. And if you guys can, I've put the link in the chat. I'll also put the link in the description of the show, so you guys can just choose the link on the description and go if you guys are able to. If you're able to donate, if you enjoy the content that Corbin brings to this channel every week and are part of this community, throw a couple bucks their way, and just if you want to do it anonymous, that's fine. But just make a comment that says Flipside family. Thanks from the Flipside family, and us as the channel are going to do our best to match whatever you guys throw in there. And this also goes for everybody that's given super chat donations to us. Your super chat donations are going to go to help match some of that. So along with people on the channel giving for that match also. So please do us a favor. Go take a look at the GoFundMe and read the story and how ridiculous it is that 4 brothers out shooting hoops in a park in a middle-class neighborhood have to worry about something like this happening, and it's a bummer, and we'll see what we can do to help them out. So go check out the GoFundMe for Corbin and his family and for his younger brother. And, if you got a couple bucks to give, go ahead and give a couple bucks, and we're going to do our best to match it. We're going to talk about this on most of the shows this week on the channel, and also be talking about it on Drunken Chat Son also on Friday. So from now until Friday, let's see if we can throw some funds their way to help get a reward out there to capture the shooters. And hopefully somebody will talk and somebody will say something, and we can figure out who these people are. So there we go. Much love to Corbin and his family. Woof. Crazy stuff, shitty stuff. But let's help them out and see what we can do. Again, the link is in the chat for everybody to check out, and I will also put it below in the description. All right, on to the real quick shout out to another Flipside, former Flipside artist that we've talked about on Flipside before, and that is Neil Jones, Dino. Who is a huge Neil Jones fan. This is kind of interesting. Neil Jones says, it's official. I'm published. Undone by Blood, Other Side of Eden #1. Comics World variant for Aftershock on sale $331. So shout out to Neil Jones. If you guys don't know the story about Neil Jones, Dino, do you have the book? Do you have the book?
I do have the book, man.
All right.
So back in the day, I think Sean probably remembers. This is G+ era probably when he was putting books up, I think. So he made me this dope cover.
Yeah, I pressed it after the art and we graded it because we knew it was going to go green, but we still have the COA on it.
Well, it's so funny too because I sent that stupid ass piece of paper. They're like, send this piece of paper in and it'll be yellow because it's from him, and they totally screwed me. But whatever. So
it doesn't matter. It's PC.
Yeah, dude, I don't matter. So yeah, it's a dope. He did a steampunk Spider-Man for me. Just a sketch cover, so it's just dope, man. I mean, so and it says signed and sketch name and cover and art, but yeah, it's dope. So
super cool.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see, artists that we follow, or that we like, or that are getting started, and doing sketch covers and that type of stuff.
And it's 101 too, man. So
yeah. 101, brother. eBay 101.
eBay 101 going up for 40 grand. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Spare bedroom 101.
101. You can't make it.
So if you guys are Neil Jones fans, go check out Undone by Blood, the other side of Eden. #1, the Comics World variant for Aftershock, which will be released on March 3rd, I think. So tomorrow, next Wednesday. So very cool. Awesome. All right.
Very cool.
Let's go back to this question. I want to follow this. So our boy Marvin Young goes, "Hey guys, quick question. How come you guys aren't uploading any more podcasts?" We are. We actually did it on Anchor, and we're on Apple Podcasts now. If you go, it's just Tales from the Flipside on Apple Podcasts, and we're on Spotify and Google Play Store, and we're on Pocket Cast, and maybe we're on Stitcher too. So we're on a multitude of different platforms now. Tales from the Flipside, just put that in and you'll be able to see it.
And Marvin, OG G+ CBSI.
He is our OG.
Top 100 members of us, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So glad to hear from Mark.
Yeah. Dope stuff. All right. You want to get into market report, Nico?
Yeah, now that the tin cans that are holding my internet together are working, sorry, Odfel, for inadvertently kicking you off the podcast while you're in the middle of a coherent thought. There's not many of them on the podcast, and I have no good excuse. Let's get into the market report.
All right. So basically what I did here, Nico, is I just, put them all in order and tried to do my best to put them in some cohesive order for you. But starting it off with Uncanny 129.
Yeah, so we've seen just an incredible amount of growth for the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost, and Sebastian Shaw. There's about 4,000 copies of this book on the CGC census, 3,500 blue labels, 304 9/8s. I want to focus on the 9/8 prices. In 2019, the average was about $1,300. 2020, about $1,500. In the last 12 months, because it started to take off in the beginning of 2020, the price ticked up to $2,000. The 90-day average is $2,700. There have been 7 $3,000 sales in February alone. February 14th, Valentine's Day, was the high mark. I imagine somebody was very lonely and had a thing for Kitty Pryde or Emma Frost or Sebastian Shaw. I don't know. Yeah. And they paid $3,840 for a 9/8.
My cousin's gonna kill me because he goes, you think I can get a 129 right now? Like, they're like $1,000. That was like a year ago. I'm like, nah, they'll just stay around. You don't need to buy one. Don't, it's fine. And
I gave one of mine away. I had 2 of them.
Yeah. This was always waiting to happen. I mean, not necessarily $3,000. But from GSX and 94 up to whatever you want to say, 142 or something. But let's be honest, up until probably like 170 or something, it's just been waiting to take off. So every little thing is going to keep taking off since then. So it's a good thing. I don't know about the newsstand. There's more newsstands back then, but like whatever.
Yeah. Next we got this is Star Wars 1. We always bring this book up.
Yeah, so it's been moving, right? And it's one that I've been really interested in, so I apologize. It's better than Mary Marvel, but for some of you it may not be that interesting. 2019 average price a mere $936 for a 9/8. By 2020 it had jumped to a little more than $1,500. The 12-month average was $1,900 and change. The 90-day average is $3,000. So here's the escalation in price from January 3rd to February 28th, just to kind of give you some indication of how quick this book's moving. January 3rd, $2,600. January 14, $2,700. January 17, outlier sale, $4,500. January 27th, down to $3,000. February 1st, 2 sales for $2,500. February 7, back up to $3,100. February 13, another $3,100. Valentine's Day, must be something about Valentine's Day, $4,300. Lonely, spending money on comics instead of chocolates. February 28th, $4,800.
Star Wars.
Yeah. February 28th, another one sells for $4,500 and change.
You know what? I honestly thought, I think it was maybe like 20. I'm not going to remember exactly. Probably about 25 for 9.8, maybe 3. When Force Awakens dropped. And I was like, because that's, the so much nostalgia in that movie. People crying, fucking Millennium Falcon, stuff like that, and so that's what it was, and I thought like that was it for the nostalgia on this, and people told me that I was right about that, because saying about how like the new generation doesn't give a shit, it's all the animated series, Clone Wars, all that stuff, and they might not care, dude. I'm sorry. There's got to be like this crazy like old man investor group of someone with the blind leading the blind on this thing that has just got people doing this. Like general comic nerds aren't spending $5,000 on books. Just being honest, we know who is everybody in and out of that situation for years. I mean, most of us in here, few and far between spending $4,000 or $5,000 on a comic book. Just being honest, most of the people we know, because if we don't necessarily know all the people buying this, these are outside investors saying, screw this. We want. We're going to get what we want. The price keeps going up, so we're going to keep paying for it. We're getting the overflow from the sports cards and everything like this to make this go up. It's healthy for those of us that definitely have some like older 9.8s and things like that. Oh man, but it goes to show, if you got anything you think is perfect, man, go ahead and grade it and wait on it. Yep. I mean, obviously get it pressed nicely and all that stuff, but like, hey, this is it's a good time to sell, but I don't think we're anywhere near any type of peak right now. Like I think Ben said last week when we were sitting here about like, don't sell your keys, dude. I had some keys with like a lot of watchers, 30, 40 watchers and stuff like that on some books, and I was just like, no, that means it's gonna sell, and I'm gonna regret it. I pulled like 5 or 10 books off of eBay, and I was just no, we'll see. Give me a minute. We'll see how this goes. I had a guy just a Vengeance 1 9.8. I had it for $1,000. This guy says, "Hey, will you do the go collect 650? If not, then what we do?" And I'm like, and I look it up, and I'm like, well, the last two sold at just $875 and $850. And I'm like, to be honest with you, if you don't buy this, I'm gonna probably raise the price like tomorrow. And I did, and I was just all because we're creeping near my price, and then I'll be sad. So yeah, there's a lot of outside investors. I want to know where these people are learning to do this from. I don't think it's definitely not people just like us. We think we know a lot of comic people, right? We're not the ones spending $5,000 on a Star Wars 198. Like where are these people getting this information from?
It's probably capital heads investor people. It's like I heard through the grapevine that somebody's buying like Jackie Robinson cards, like buy them all up, or buying up certain players and stuff like that in the sports industry. I bet you it's translated over in the comic world where they're like, hey, I see this is gonna go. I'm hedging my bet, and they have ridiculous amount of money anyways. So
yeah, it's probably like you could buy a gold bar if with the money they have. I'm assuming, yeah, you could buy a gold bar and that'll go up, or you could buy this book and it could go up. This piece of plastic, they don't know what they're talking about, with some paper inside, and it'll go up even faster.
Yeah.
And I that's my opinion. I think it's going to the people who are just with money, man, doing what they do.
I had the most fascinating conversation at Baltimore Comic Con. There was a guy that was, I don't know, maybe in his 60s or something, that was there with his son, and they had a small little table with incredible books. Not stupid fucking Star Wars copper, bronze, silver shit, but like Golden Age comics that you just never see, in incredible shape, and just like an incredible eye for those books that you can't buy. And I was just like, who the hell is this dude? So I started to chat him up, and he's like, oh, those are my son's comics. And he's like, I sold a $250,000 coin, and my son bought some comic books. And he was a non-traditional investor for JP Morgan, and gave me the best piece of advice. That was the most simple piece of advice I think I've ever heard. He's like, investing is about buying, and encouraged me to try to like buy things that you can't buy. Right. Like what I've noticed during this market report is that there are no longer no reserve auctions on Golden Age keys. Like there just aren't. Look on eBay at the sold listings. There are none. And I thought that was kind of shocking. So we've seen the kind of craziness that's going on with like GSX1 and some of the Silver Age books like X-Men 1 or Copper books or whatever. I can't wait until it hits gold. It could be like earth shattering, some of these prices we see.
You know what? The crazy thing, those books aren't built to last. Like that paper is, unless there's like archival restoration to some of those things are gonna fall apart. Like it's paper. Like it just wasn't. They weren't built to last. Like I'm saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying we're gonna see it anytime soon. Like the paper's literally just gonna deteriorate in like whatever like plastic things you put them in. Like it's not even the best way to keep it is in a CGC slab or anything like that. So it's like it's good for flips, decent for long term. You know, if you got an Action Comics 1, it's in a safe somewhere. You know,
you don't put your slabs in those food saver bags and vacuum seal them?
No, but I bought them at Del Taco for people off Craigslist before. So yeah, I remember one time and most people know who Carbon Arrow is. I was at there was a gold silver show out here that they have every single year until this year, of course. He's walking around this Action Comics 1 7.0. Instead of 7.0, wow. He's just handing it to people. Like this is 3 or 4 years ago or something. I think it was about that was probably about $700 or $800 at the time. I'm looking around to give it back to him because I can't find him to give it back to him.
Jesus Christ.
The guy, if you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. The guy runs around like a crazy person around goddamn shows. So I'm walking around with a 7.0 and I'm sitting here and so I've got a picture with this thing and I'm like, holy shit. I sent a picture to my friends. I threw one on Instagram. You know, it's probably the only time I'll ever hold a copy of that book, you know, much less a really clean, it's conserved and all, but a 7.0. Dude, I text a picture to my wife. She goes, "You're gonna sell it, right?" Right? And I'm like, oh, and because she figures I traded for it or something. And I'm like, and just let's just say, you know, we're successful people. $700,000 is an extraordinary amount of money. Okay, I'm like, that ain't my book. Like I wish it was. And yes, if it was mine, I would cry and I would fly it somewhere and consider it. But no, I didn't trade a Preacher 1 9.8, an Avengers 55 Ultron first appearance for Action Comics 1. Unfortunately, those are the books I took to trade that day. So,
be a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, exactly, Matthew.
Cool. So we got this one, Something Killing Children #1, the old first print.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even bother to look up the CGC data or the GPA data. I put a bunch of these Something Killing the Children books on here just to try to get some conversation from you guys about it. I mean, the A cover was on sale at Midtown in the last 90 days for $40, and now it's a $700 9.8.
Okay, how much is it? Shoe 1 9.8.
I don't know. It was like $300.
$300.
I assume it's less.
Yeah.
Okay. Beloved series.
Loved it. Made a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
This is past Saga 1. By the way.
Come on.
Yeah.
Dude. There we go.
Interesting. Here's another one.
This one's interesting because it's one of 300, unlike the A cover, right? Unlike a lot of the other covers that are selling for more money than it, makes no sense to me. It's really kind of like a good example for me of kind of the irrationality of the market. I mean, it's Jenny Frizen. There's a blood spatter. It checks a lot of boxes. For whatever reason, it hasn't caught on yet.
Yeah, this is almost like because I mean, she's got the B cover, and then there's another version. So this is like there's way too many versions of that.
But I agree. They beat into the ground the Frizen cover, and you know the local comic shop day doesn't necessarily help the A cover. I mean, let's be honest. But it hasn't right now done anything to it. I just it leaves me scratching my head.
Interesting. We got this one.
Here's another one, Black Cape, 1 of 500, right? So we've seen huge sales for this, and then this was a no reserve auction for, by all inclinations, a pretty damn sharp copy, and I thought it was kind of a lackluster result for the book compared to its other sales, but still a monster sale under the circumstance. And an awesome cover.
I love that cover.
I got a quick question for Odfel. We're seeing a lot of these Something is Killing the Children books on these market report lists in the last couple months. Is this a big character in the cosplay community yet?
No, actually. I would actually say like the book is so unattainable that a lot of people don't know about it.
Wow.
We can't keep the trades in the store. I mean, every time it came out up until like issue, I think 6, it was sold out before the end of Wednesday. So I think just a lot of people don't know about this book because it's selling out so fast that it's not really even having time to saturate into the average reader who might stumble on it and pick it up. So I think it's going to take a while for this one to hit unless it gets picked up by something for a television show.
What an interesting concept that a book's value could actually go higher if it could even reach more people, but it can't because it's sold out so fast for whatever given reason.
Yeah, because I mean, it's insane. Like, people ask about wanting to like start the series, and I'm like, we're out of trades right now. Or like before the trade was even out, I'm like, yeah, we've been sold out for weeks. Like, and that really stunts it. I feel like, because even if people are interested, they're just like, eh. So I think like a lot of times things that people cosplay, things that go viral for cosplayers to do are often things that are memed or things that hit the media right. And when a book sells out like this, it stops it from hitting the media right.
My question was going to be if you as a cosplayer look at this cover and maybe see money to flip or just a cool character to dress up as maybe in the future.
I could
or
see
both.
it.
I don't know.
It's one of those costumes where it's easy. So it really wouldn't be, if I was looking at it from a business standpoint, this would not be a marketable cosplay because no one knows what it is. Unless it gets bigger. And I think if we see something killing the children getting more into the mainstream comic community, not even just mainstream media, because honestly it's kind of its own little niche being independent and horror. But I think if we see it coming more into it, you'll see a lot of cosplays pop up because it's so simple and so street clothes. It's going to be a very easy costume for a lot of people to jump on once it does hit.
Well, the reason that we ask that is because we know we see it quite often. We know when a character is a really good character when we start seeing that character take off in the cosplay arena. You know, when we start seeing Spider-Gwen at cons, we knew Spider-Gwen was a good character. When we started seeing Gwenpool at cons, we knew Gwenpool was going to be a character that sticks, you know? So it'll be interesting to see if this takes off anytime soon in that arena.
Like, dude, the Spider-Gwen suits came like with the quickness, man. Mm-hmm. Like the whole I don't know, the onesie deal. sorry for knowing lack of the time. But like that came like right after Edge of Spider-Verse 2, like within a year, I think, or even less. There's so many that love that, and they have the hoodies and all the different stuff. So
yeah.
It's and go ahead.
Sorry, this being such a plain design, it's really gonna have to become just a popular book because this has that same kind of energy as like kind of like the Life is Strange aesthetic or the Tomb Raider reboot aesthetic, where really like, if people don't know the story, it could be mistaken as so many characters.
Yeah. Well, we've got even more books on the market report from Something is Killing the Children this week. One coming up that I just don't think I'll ever own. But here's number 7, the 1 in 20 Rios variant, raw for $600.
Wow.
Yeah. Just more craziness from Something is Killing the Children. What's up with oh, here it is right here. Here's the number 8, the 1 in 25 Jeff Deckel version. Is it Deckel or Decol?
I think that's one of my favorite covers. I don't know.
I think it's Deckel, but I always say Decol.
Okay.
Because I think it sounds better. So,
well, this was one of my top 3 covers of the year, and I wish I owned one. I only own one of the top 3 covers of the year that I chose.
Does it look like there's a cat on her head, and does that ruin the cover for you forever?
No, I don't see that at all.
Paul, do you see it?
It looks like one of those little grandma dogs, not a cat or an owl to me.
I'm pretty sure that's an owl.
An owl?
Paul, that's an owl for sure.
I'm just saying, because when I think Andy Tomberlin told me that, and then I was like, okay, never mind, I can live without it. He saved me like $600.
Ronnie says, I love this book for John Byrne's homage cover, but I hope that, like the storyline, White Vision eventually regained his own self, possibly merged for the 2 last episodes. He's talking about the Vision book. So there we go. Yeah.
Dang. Thanks for that super chat.
Hell yeah, Ronnie. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Mighty Mel V, who's in the house. Make sure you guys are obviously subscribed to the Mighty Mel V channel from Drunken Chat Crew. Make sure you guys keep an eye on them this Friday. And make sure you guys like and subscribe to them as well as Tales from the Flipside so you guys get notified about all the amazing shows that come out on this network.
What the hell's Mel got as an avatar? Is that like a...
That's the old character.
Cruella de Vil that like...
No, it's a crazy cartoon. He's going to flip out on me for not knowing it, but it's a crazy cartoon, old school cartoon where that's like the bad guy character. I think he's almost like a DJ too. Like he's a bad DJ character.
I was going to say David Bowie, but
yeah. Anyways, this is one of the most.
Bowie had a kid. Mel adopted it, and then you know what I mean. It went on Drunken Chat. That's what came out.
Yeah. Well, here's the next book on the list, Nico. This is interesting because it's kind of in the same vein as Something is Killing the Children, and that's Department of Truth. Here's a Department of Truth #1 CGC 9.8 that went for $800. The proof of concept variant.
Yeah, so this is a cool book. You had to be on Tinion's mailing list to buy the book. I screwed up. I don't have a copy. Shame on me. But I was really excited that Odfel joined us. In addition to Something Killing the Children, I think the woman in red from Department of Truth is begging to be cosplayed. I don't know anything about how to do like any of that stuff. So for me, the eyes, the X'd out eyes, are what will create the difficulty that I think it'll sell. I don't know that like just a little bandana around your mouth works unless you're like a pro cosplayer and you do it first. But I think the X on the eyes, right? Am I right? Talking on my ass?
I think it's very aesthetic. Again, it falls into the same pitfall of Something is Killing the Children, in that this book being indie and being one that sells out a lot, I don't really think it's hit a lot of the circles it needs to be cosplayed, because I mean a lot of people have it as a passion project, but when you see like these really like high-end cosplays, usually it's a professional cosplayer and they're taking into account what they like but also what will do well. So I think like it might be a couple years, but then I think that this could get some really cool ones, because a lot of the art I've seen coming out of Department of Truth has just been awesome as far as character design.
Yeah, so both the TV shows are allegedly in the works. Tinion's announced something on his Instagram page and elsewhere about Something's Killing the Children. There's the woman in the red dress on the 1 in 100 variant for Department of Truth. Looks like this one's going to get made as well. We've seen the story from Deadline that there was a bidding war, and I don't know what the timeline for that necessarily is, but it's all pretty darn interesting in it. I guess I'm just fascinated that somebody who works in an LCS doesn't see either of these books as being major properties, when right now they are the hottest thing in speculative comic circles. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
How often does it fizzle? How often does stuff like that fizzle out before it could even reach mainstream or get optioned, though?
Well, I mean, we've just never seen anything like either of these books, though.
We've never seen independent books like this?
Not this quick. I mean, Christ, there's only 6 issues of Department of Truth. There's only 14 issues of Something's Killing the Children. It had one random variant that sold for $1,300.
I'm just suspicious of how insane the market is right now.
I'm not really suspicious.
No doubt.
I just think that it's like sort of a, I don't know. It's just following the rest of the market with the craziness and the limited stuff. And like, I mean, this is Something's Killing is, the #1 book Boom's basically ever had for, rather than the wrestling stuff or something like that. Department of Truth hitting, people like it. I really like the ratio for #2 though. That dude gonna devour the baby. That's pretty fun. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we've seen it like this, but we haven't seen any other market like this really either, to be honest.
No doubt about it.
So I think it's just following the same. Oh my lord!
Yeah, you ready for this one?
I'm grading my beater. That's it.
Ultimate Fallout 4, a 6.5, sold for $1,724.
Is that the one that you rolled up and stuffed in your back pocket on the way home from school? Jeez.
Oh, I remember we were at WonderCon. Trey flew out to California. And we're sitting there, and there's this one of the dealers. Everybody around here knows him. So he's got like he's not active online or any of that stuff. But like if you're a local person, you know who this guy is. Nice, really great guy named Lee. So he's got 20 copies of this in 2 comic bags, not bagged and boarded, and he lets you go through the bags, but you can only buy one, and I think they were $75, and he says you're only allowed to buy one, and I'm standing here and I'm going through these copies as I did a couple times. I did buy copies from him at different cons because there used to be a lot of cons back in the day, and so I was sitting there. I remember holding this stack of these raw copies of this with Trey and go, "There's gonna be a day when we regret not buying all these." And he's like, "Yeah, well, that day's here, man." I picked the best raw that I thought was like a 9.2, gave him like 75, and I remember he's not around as much, but everybody remembers Dan Golgert from CBSI. So I still text with him, still friends of mine, and I'm like, and he's like, he's a love him, frugal guy, right? And I'm like, man, and I think he had the copies up to 100, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna take this one, you take that one. He's only so much. She's all, yeah, it's $100. I'm like, it's already like $300 or $400 on eBay, man. Like, okay, just buy the damn book, dude. Trust me, I'm not gonna steer you wrong. I'm pulling a low near mint, very fine near mint copy. Guarantee he still has it because he doesn't sell anything wrong. I press his books like once every 2 years. Yeah, so I'm like, anyway, so yeah, I made his children money. This is what happened. I remember holding stacks of these. Well, you guys see my Instagram picture with like 20 of these.
Yep.
That was only half. That's like a third of what I pressed.
I remember seeing a picture of trays where there's just like 10 of these just sitting around, like they were just not even in bags and boards. Yeah, sitting on the ground.
I thought it was hilarious to getting. Yeah, I see him talking in there. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious to get to just be like, oh, here, fix these 30 unbagged and boarded copies of this thing. Oh God, dude! Now it's the Hulk 181 of our generation. Period.
Isn't that crazy? It
crazy. Is. There's not a better spec book.
Yeah. Well, look at this. This is interesting because this is the Hulk 181 of our generation, but this book for a long time was a big book for a generation, and then it just kind of fell off. But it's selling for decent money now.
Yeah, back up, huh?
Yeah, set of Dark Knight Returns 1 through 4 sold. Well, first print sold for $542.
Is that crazy?
That's awesome. I love to see that.
So I had private conversations with people who I like talk comics with about the next book that was going to pop, right? We had like ASM 300, X-Men 1, giant size X-Men 1. And I'm like, look, it's clearly outside money, like you guys have talked about. These are guys getting back into comics, card people with big cash, long pockets, trying to recapture their youth. I was like, maybe Dark Knight Returns. And they're like, no way, not going to happen. Fuck DC, didn't happen with the movie. I mean, my God, Heath Ledger, blah, 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 all the excuses. And then I'm doing the market report, and I was like, well, maybe I was right, but I'm definitely already too late. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what sucks. When you see it coming, but you can't act, or you don't act, that's the worst part, man. And you're all, son of a bitch. The only thing I knew came true, and I didn't even do it.
Yeah. Well, the worst part, and I was being cheap. So instead of and who knows, maybe there's still like $800 out. Instead of buying like an $800 9.8, I'm out looking at the back covers of these books at shops, trying to find something that I can sneak through as a 9.8. Clearly didn't find any.
Yeah. I mean,
Because it's a hard 9.8. I mean, it is.
No, they're a trade, dude. It's not a regular. I mean, you can't press it like a regular book. You can't.
Plus, that back cover is like, if you look at them, I swear to God, they just get scratched, nicked, whatever. It's a pain in the ass. If you see a nice one and you want to buy it in the wild, my God, take it out of the bag. Don't make the mistakes I made.
Yeah, I say that, especially books that you happen to know have. This is different because it's a trade, but it does scratch a lot. Excuse me. You know, we had a friend and I were going to buy. These guy had these Guardians of the Galaxy, the 2008 number ones. They look like tapping 9.8s. And I'm like, no, this thing's got a black back cover, man. Like, let's not be stupid about this. We bought 0 copies. Right?
Yeah,
New Mutants 98, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Like, if I see a listing online for these books, I swear to God, I don't click on the front picture. I click on the back picture, because that's where I'm going to start off. Because, like, yeah, the front's going to look good. It's red. You can fix it. New Mutants 98, Spider-Man 300. Like, just start looking at the back cover first, not the front cover, because that's how you know.
There was a place a couple weeks ago when I was up in Cleveland. The guy had he had like a long box of number 4, and I looked through about 3/4 of it, and I'm like, every one of these is 9.0 at best.
Silk number 4.
No, this the Dark Knight Returns number 4.
Oh, Dark Knight Returns. Okay,
Yeah. I mean, he had a long box of them, but none of them were 9.8s. If any of them would have been close, I'd have bought them. But
yeah.
Somebody in the chat was talking about this book selling recently. A 9.8 sold for some ungodly amount recently. Well, here's a 5.0 Fantastic Four 48 that sold for $2,000.
I like, if you've got major money, I like 49 in high grade better than 48. There was a warehouse find of these, so that people are aware. There's a significantly larger number of high grade copies of 48 than 49 on the census. But it's a book that's moving, not necessarily with the haste of a lot of these other keys, but it's moving. This time 2 years ago, you could pick up a 7.0 for about 2 Gs. So I don't know. This could be the next one to move. I mean, it's the most simple pick.
It already moved. It's a naked dude that's painted silver in the middle of space on a surfboard, man. He already had a movie and it sucks.
Dude, no way. That movie did not suck. He made that movie decent. He made that movie decent. The Silver Surfer made that movie decent.
So, there's proof now that marijuana makes that movie good. But other than that, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't hate it because I like seeing any of this on the screen. Dude, how is it, dude? How much LSD did they do to create the Silver Surfer? And I respect that. That's the only thing I like about that character.
It's a great character. It's one of my all-time favorites,
he's
man.
Got no jokes. He's just silver. He's out in space on a surfboard, man. Come on, dude. Come on.
They did such a good job when they first showed him.
I like 49, man. I'm full with Nico on this.
He's on 49, right? He's on the cover of 49.
Yeah, I think a Norrin Rad Galactus story would be pretty fucking cool, though.
Yeah, any price you see right now is purely speculation that Marvel is going to do the next reboot correctly.
Cosmic.
I mean, Christ, look what people are spending on X-Men, hoping that they do X-Men right.
Right, and they will. You just got to know. You just had to hope you get the right book.
They already did.
The question is, can I live long enough?
Right.
I know that they ran out of budget. Like when what's her name?
Jessica Alba.
No, that was what Fantastic
She
Four?
She was the best part of Fantastic Four.
No, but when the girl from Game of Thrones finished off the X-Men run, and so they didn't quite finish the way that they wanted to.
Arya Stark, little Arya Stark.
Yeah. That's what I was messing up.
Sansa,
yeah.
So I remember her real name too, but I'm
Anyway,
I got nothing.
So no, but so unfortunately, the Phoenix wasn't necessarily wanted to be. Like, they didn't have the budget for it. There was tons of good X-Men movies.
Could you imagine if they did that well?
Deadpool terribly, not the movie Deadpool. You know what I mean? The X-Men Deadpool.
Yeah,
like the one he killed in his own movie.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, it was bad, but they did. I mean, they had some characters nailed. First Class
Absolutely.
was amazing.
Yeah,
the first X-Men movies were amazing. They were ahead of their time, but they just didn't pull the universe together.
Yeah, Quicksilver was so good they drug him into WandaVision.
Dude, I'm sorry. That was literally he's one of the greatest characters in all of the X-Men movies in just that movie.
But you're buying books not based on what they did. You're buying books on what you hope they're going to do next, and imagine that what you saw doesn't exist anymore.
That's not wrong, but but I'm just saying, like,
for these crazy
people don't realize they did this Silver Surfer. Like, you only comic people, like, I understand why you like it, Brian. It's fine, but I mean, we're not going to go with that's one of the cinematic achievements of comic universe.
Fuck no, it was really bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, dude.
We got a question from the chat for Odfel. Comic Boom says, question: what new comic character has the most cosplay potential? He threw out a couple in Punchline and Miracle Molly. So what is the newest
Hold
character?
on, time out. Who the fuck is Miracle Molly?
A new character.
Does anyone on the panel know who Miracle Molly is? Hold on, Brian.
I'll show you her.
Does anyone else know who Miracle Molly is?
I know the name. I know.
Get the fuck out of here.
If I know the name, if I know the name, then you're slipping, Nico.
I'm definitely slipping.
She looks like she's like
she looks badass.
80s punk.
Yeah, she looks dope as hell, man. Check her out.
We need more punk rock superheroes.
I know. Okay, yeah, I do know who this is. I forget what book she's from. But she's gonna be a Harley Quinn character, right?
Yeah.
But Punchline.
That's the other Punchline.
Yeah.
The other Punchline.
Yeah. Fuck. Come on.
Both her and Punchline have a lot of potential. It's very in style. It's very fashion based with things that are in right now. I think both of these will hit really well. I think the new Wonder Woman design for Yana Floor is going to hit very well. I was surprised that Star for Marvel last year didn't hit at all. I still haven't seen a cosplay of her. I don't know. It's so tricky. I think that if cons were still happening, we'd be seeing like 8 times more Punchlines. But I think that like cosplay is a lot slower now. When it comes to trends like this, Lady Dimitrescu actually was one that shocked me because I haven't seen everyone jump on a cosplay like that in a while.
What's a Lady what?
She's from the new Resident Evil game.
Okay. At least she wasn't in a comic book, and I wasn't failing to know who she was. For the record, I did know who the other Punchline was, but I gave up on that the moment that I saw it. Yeah.
This has been probably the most. I'm going to link it in the thing.
I got her.
It all comes down to writing.
Yeah. She has been probably the most cosplay thing I've seen in a hot minute, and it's just from a teaser trailer.
That does look like a fun cosplay. So does Punchline. I feel like
Paul will look great in a corset.
Hell yeah, I'd rock that.
My man.
Dude, he already wear. Oh wait,
your wife could pull this off, Paul, really well.
She could.
I was like, that's a fanny pack. I thought he already wore one.
If I shaved my chest and wear a push-up bra, I could do that.
Dude, I'm definitely getting a fanny pack.
Seen lately.
Pull up your fanny pack, bro. Tighten it up. I'll pull behind you, man. You're good.
Paul, I'm wearing a fanny pack to the Cleveland Con in your honor. It's going to be awesome. I'll have all my stuff in it.
Thank you. What was
I'm trying to have a good Marvel one though.
What
was
about
the stuff about this character, that lady? I don't know how to pronounce it. Like is the character in the game just really tall, or something stupid silly, or what?
And she has like exactly one speaking line, and it just hit just right. And I mean, it was memes for the first like week, I would say, and then the cosplays just started rolling in, and now like I can't get on social media without seeing like at least one cosplay a day of her. So I think that if cons were happening, I think we would have already seen that with Punchline. I think we will see it with Punchline, and I think that if Miracle Molly lasts, we'll definitely see it because she kind of has that cool like cyberpunk 2077 aesthetic that's in right now. It's just a matter of it has to just hit the right point of the internet, and then once it does, everyone wants to jump on it. Nice. But I definitely think we'll see those. I really just want to think of a good Marvel one, but there hasn't really been a whole lot of new Marvel characters lately. So
think we're gonna see any lady the lady Loki character in the Loki show coming out? That could be a character that we might see. And here is a Journey into Mystery 85, a 4/5 sold for $3,000. First appearance of Loki.
Moving.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense to me. Other than some the fucking West Coast Avengers for 1,500 or the first Loki for $3,000. Save your money and buy this book.
Amen.
Or sell two if you have those West Coast Avengers in 9.8. Sell that shit.
Sell both.
Put it towards it. Yeah,
hard as you can, and then make a nice purchase like this one. Yeah. And I'm not so old school that I hate on people's shit, man. I really don't. I you know I hate $10 comic cops, but like there's better investments out there.
It's a crazy game right now, and the amount of investors that are going to be coming into our hobby over the next year is going to be fascinating to watch.
We all know how often Vision dies, okay?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's the problem. He's a cool character that can't stay alive in the comics.
I guess my question for you guys is, there are characters that just don't take, right? Like Scott Lang Ant-Man. Guy's going to have 3 movies, and, the book just isn't really coveted. Even though kids love Ant-Man.
It's impossible book, though. Like, it's not a book that appeals to people. It's not that easy to find. It's always going to be low grade. Are you talking about like his first appearance? Like, is Ant-Man?
Scott Lang Ant-Man, not Silver Age Ant-Man.
Okay, so are we gonna go Marvel premiere? What 47?
Yes, whatever the hell it is. Yeah,
40,
47. Yeah,
47. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so there's a guy who's got 2 movies under his belt. Another one that's on its way. Doesn't get a lot of love. Clearly, there's something different with Tom Hiddleston's Loki. Has been popular out the gate in a way, like I don't know if it's because it's a little more edgy than Ant-Man will ever be. Certainly a classic Silver Age character.
He's a like villain.
Multiple. Well, so that doesn't check the right box. There's
which is crazy. But that makes it amazing that here's a villain that has worked. Like,
dude, he teams up with his brother constantly, dude.
He's great.
In the work.
I feel Loki's more anti-hero than villain.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
And he certainly will be after 2 seasons of Loki. The second season's already greenlit.
Yeah, people are gonna love that series. I have a feeling that they're gonna fucking love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I just wonder what the future is for this book.
Well, we see it's already selling for a pretty decent penny right there for a 4 or 5. All right, so here's an interesting one. ASM 316, the quote-unquote first Venom cover. This was a book that was talked about. I remember back in the G+ days, this book always being talked about, being pulled out of bins, and this was always a really big book. So, just a pull out for $5 and say, oh, this could be worth something. And now we're seeing it, 9.8 selling for $1,200.
Dude, so this book, when we were at Charlotte Comic Con like 2 years ago, myself selling with the F5 guys, so Dino, etc. We're sitting there, and so this book, I pressed one, we got a 9.8. It was like a $200 book, and so our good friend Mr. Sleepy John he's digging through our shit, and he's all $200. He's all, I'll give you $200, and I was just all, dude, check sales. It's like $175 book, man. You want a deal on it? Like, I mean, we'll drop it down the price. We don't care. It's our friend, Like, we don't care. Yeah. So that was 2 years ago. It's a $200 book. $1,200.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. I wrote
how many 9.8s are there of this? Did you look at?
I didn't pull the census data, but there's going to be a fucking truckload.
I'll look it up if you want, but yeah, quite plenty.
All right, while you're looking that up, here's another one, ASM 365. This is a newsstand for quote unquote first Spidey 2099, a 9.8 sold for $840.
Yeah, that is a tough newsstand. I will say, like that one specifically, because it's so thick, it's extraordinarily difficult to
the scratches.
The scratches on the hologram can be bagged and boarded. It's very difficult to very difficult to press because it's so thick. So the front, not much less the hologram, but because the front cover on that book is so thick that down that right side, and unlike other that you can't crease things, like you can't sit something in a press because it's so thick that like it'll hit the whole edge of the book. The weird thing is you can press the back of that book pretty easily. Unlike other books, like it's not, the staples aren't in the middle, the staples are on the bottom. So the bottom is almost completely flat, but the top is rounded up. So all the damage is going to be on the black. I sent one like a week ago. Perfect, but there's tiniest bit of foxing on the back. You can't really fix foxing, right? Like it's very difficult to get that off of there. And I was just like, hey, dude, who gives a shit? Let's see how this goes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Otherwise, for book, yeah.
Giant Size X-Men. We've been talking about this book a lot. Here's a 8.5 that sold for $6,650. This book's going crazy. I think DS Comics just recently said he picked up one. I think I saw on IG. This book is going crazy. Absolutely nuts.
You ready? You want some data?
Yeah.
10,000 slabbed copies, 8,800 blue labels. There's 189 9/8s. That's the highest graded. A 9/8 sold in June for $22,500. Lord only knows what it would sell for today.
Wow.
An 8.5 with a cracked case sold in 2014 for $838. 2019 average price was $2,300. The 2020 average price was $2,700. The 12-month average price was $3,400. The 90-day average is $4,700 in 8.5 condition. All right, so here's the price escalation from February 22nd to the 28th. It's fucking insane. On the 22nd, a copy sells for $3,800. On the 24th, one sells for $4,500. Another copy sells the same day for $6,600. 2 days later, on the 26th, the copy sells for $7,100, and then at the end of the month, a copy sells for $66.49.
Dude, wow. That's why when I showed the that beater that I bought for like $700 like a couple weeks ago, I was just all, dude, I'm buying this book. This is literally insane. You know what I mean? There's just it is what it is, man.
Thank
you, Style.
Yeah, I remember when a buddy who presses books, real smart guy's got like one of the best private collections of anybody I know. Told me that he'd rather have a giant size one than an X-Men one, and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Well, those are my X-Men."
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he has them both, right? But he's like, "Oh, of course, those are my X-Men."
I am a Cyclops fan, just being honest here, but more than anybody else in X-Men one. I've always loved Cyclops.
I'm a Cyclops fan when he's not a pussy. I can't stand when he is such a pussy. When he was written in Avengers vs. X-Men and the Phoenix stuff started coming out, he was starting to be a badass. And when he killed Professor X and afterwards, and he was just a badass Scott, and he was with Emma. Emma made him such a dope ass character. Oh, Jesus, man.
I think everybody here is agreeing with you. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was like, dude, you're giving him props right now, right?
I'm giving he was the best.
It's only Cyclops statues.
It's a thing. Cool.
He's a great character, man. It's a great character.
He's so good. He's so dependent on who's writing him.
I don't like it right now because he's back with Jean and it's weird. It is so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in some of those storylines.
Yeah,
It's
weird.
fucking unsettling, dude.
Well, X-Men.
I love Scott and Jean.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 90s. I don't think
Yes.
they're together now. It doesn't make sense anymore. Like, they're one of my favorite comic couples, but like after everything he's done with Emma, it just doesn't make sense anymore. And I'm like, can we just have him and Emma back together, please? Like, anything.
Yep. I think Emma's cooler character than Jean and now anyways. So, yeah.
He's had development time. I feel like Jean's been dead too long.
Yep, you're right. Back to another X-Men. X-Men showing more love. Here's X-Men 1 from 1991.
Yeah. So I was at a dollar sale and didn't buy like a short box of these for $1 a piece, and I'm kicking myself in the ass. I almost did. I almost just picked it up and fucking walked out with it. It would have been cheap. I'm sure there would have been 9/8 in it. And I was like, no, there's 8 million copies. And when I say there's 8 million copies, that's not hyperbole. There literally were 8 million copies.
Yeah. I was here for all that, baby.
Yeah, I was when I was a little kid, right? I still have copies from when I was a little kid. And there's between 1 to 2 million copies of every cover. Obviously there's 5 covers. There's newsstands for the A, B, C, and D covers. Comic Cron indicates that they estimate 4,300 newsstand copies. So this book was about $100 back in August in 9/8, the direct markets. People are hip to the newsstand ones on eBay, but if you watch this podcast, I'm sure you're figuring, well, I'll take a look at the newsstand. This is when 90s newsstand matters. I wonder if it's going to be the same for Spider-Man 1 and some of the rest of those 90s books with the newsstand copies. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
I just, first off, I'm really excited how, I thought it was just guys like me that worked in desk for too long that had to wear back braces when they went out doing shit. But it's nice to see that Magneto has to do the same thing. He's out harnessing he has to harness all the magneticism in the whole fucking world to fuck you up, and he has to put on a weight belt to do it. And that makes me excited.
My man.
Makes me excited. His chest is a little bigger than mine. But,
great character.
Wait till he shows up on WandaVision next week.
Woo! Next book on the list, we get into some Stein. These are some Stein picks. This Action 252, a CGC 8.0, sold for $18,835.
Casting.
Why is it green?
It's not green. I think it's a
color issue.
What? No, the black.
Pedigree.
Pedigree.
Yeah,
pedigree. Silver, whatever the shit it is.
My mind went completely blank.
It says
unrestored.
Well, green could be like a pop staple though.
Yeah, that's pedigree though, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it just looks weird here. Sorry.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Good for you, Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Supergirl casting we should have talked about. They've got a brunette Supergirl who is, help me out, Puerto Rican? Dominican?
What is she going to be in?
Looks like the Flash film?
Flash movie, yeah. She was on a soap opera? Was that what she was on before? I'm not like a big soap opera fan or anything like that. But
I missed this one.
Yeah, interesting.
She looks good. She looks really good. I'm excited to see it. They'll probably end up slapping her in a blonde wig. She looks really good though. I saw someone posted her acceptance interview or something.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Well, it'll be interesting.
That was a really
DC
interview.
Messes everything up, it seems, lately, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Snyder Cut, because I have a feeling the Snyder Cut is going to be freaking awesome. And if it is, let's cross our fingers that puts a little bit of more energy into DC material on the small or big screen.
Spoiler for me, I already know I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you have to go out on a limb to destroy this thing. Dude, I'm gonna get a Snyder Cut of this. There's no, don't get me wrong, it might not be perfect to my eyes, I'm not asking for perfection. I'm just excited to get to see it.
Did you guys hear what
I'm gonna like it. I'm a homer.
Did you hear what Christopher Nolan told Zack Snyder when he found out after he watched the Whedon version? He told Zack Snyder, "Don't watch it.
Yeah,
don't watch it. It'll break your heart."
We were waiting for that, man, and we had Doomsday so specced out. Like, oh my god, dude!
And Darkseid is such a great villain.
Oh, if you think, dude, we've been waiting our whole life for Darkseid, man.
Yeah, we're gonna see Apocalypse. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. AF-15, a CGC 9.0, $566,000.
That looks low to me.
Jesus.
Considering what we're going through, that looks low as shit to me.
An 8. No, well, I don't know. An 8.0 sold last spring for 175.
Okay.
So
that's high.
Considering what we're going through and like everything we're talking about in comics, $500,000 for a 9.0 in that book, which is probably, I don't know, probably if I was gonna guess, probably the 15th highest graded.
There are 498s, 6. I'm sorry, not 498s, 496s. There are no blue label 9.8s. 694s, 392s, and 1190s.
So I was pretty close.
Yep.
God damn.
Yeah. So I think that's a bargain. I don't have $566,000 to spend on a comic book, but if I did, I would buy that one. Just being honest.
Here we go.
$566,000 spent on anything, much less a comic book.
Let's give some Blue Bolt love. Golden Age or LB Cole cover, classic LB Cole cover. Blue Bolt 115, a 6.5, sold for $6,400. Wow. Beautiful cover. Love that cover.
Wow.
Damn good cover.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of big books that went off on Comic Link this week.
111 is my favorite.
Yeah, there's one of them, buddy.
Yeah, Cerebus #1, a 9.4 sold for $29,000.
It's the highest in the census. There's only 2 of them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
That's awesome. Cry for Dawn. I saw Cry for Dawn sell for really cheap the other day, and then I saw this.
This is actually cheap.
I was about to say this was the one I saw, and I went only $1,000 for a 9.8 Cry for Dawn. Number one.
Yeah. For the record, that is a pain in the ass to find in anything other than kind of myth grade.
They grade the reprints on this because it's so hard to find the original. Right?
There's only 63 copies of this total in the census. Total.
My buddy been asking me for one because when he was in prison, he got her tattooed like on his whole arm right there, and then I was just I kind of gave up trying to get him a copy. Like I've
got a copy.
You have one? Is it a reprint?
No, but she ain't pretty.
I think we all forget how, like, because this was like 90s bad girl stuff, but I mean that's some great art. I mean, Lizzer was awesome.
Yep, I remember this book. Looking at this book in the Old School Wizard and just being like, you knew about this book. You knew about the crosses in the sky and all the bullshit, right? You knew about this book. This book was such a big book back then.
It's one of the series that people still or routine, like big dealers are still hunting for on the CGC boards and the want to buy ads.
Yep.
Right? Like I want this in this grade and they don't do that. You know what I mean?
And another reason it's enjoyable because this is clearly a collector purchase. This isn't fucking a Wall Street guy trying to launder money.
No doubt about it. Yeah, they don't know what the fuck that is, right?
Yeah, like a real comic person bought that shit.
Well, this is interesting. Here we go. Daredevil #1, an 8.5 CGC 8.5, 15.9. Crazy. 16 grand.
Sold my only copy for $300.
Yeah, a copy just sold last month for 8.5 for 12. So this is 4,000 over what it sold for last month.
This is an interesting one. I don't know what this one. You have to explain this one to me, Ben. This is Last Unicorn #1, the retail incentive B cover, 9.8.
I have no clue what this is.
What is? Do you know what this is? What this is? Oddfell?
Oddfell, let us know.
There's a comic version of this. This is like a movie and book from my childhood. The movie is one of those where I feel like if you watch it as a kid, it holds its like level of being good and magic. But if you never saw it as a kid, watching it as an adult, you're like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I watching? I have never seen there's a comic for it, but with how much of a cult classic the movie is, this absolutely tracks.
What do you remember approximately like year of the movie?
I can just search it real quick.
I'm already on it.
Yeah, this is
I don't remember it. I don't
82.
82?
It came out in 82.
Yeah,
we
I
didn't see it.
Library.
We're all going to be watching Last Unicorn this week.
I'm ready, dude.
I swear, like I watched it as a kid and I loved it, but I've had friends that haven't watched it as a kid and they're like, what the hell? Like I feel like if you don't watch it as a kid, it's like very strange as an adult.
Well, that's crazy. Well, there you go. So
Cult classic sword and sorcery movie.
My niece is 4 and loves unicorns. Should maybe we go there?
Yeah, it's
right.
pretty well animation wise.
Oh, it's animated. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably why I don't remember it.
Now, there you go.
The
Broadway adaptation produced by Fergie. There you go.
Yeah. Maybe that's crazy.
But yeah, with how cult classic the movie is, like this tracks.
That's nuts. I love seeing books like this that I would have never thought. I probably would have bought it if I'd have seen it signed, but I don't think I'd have bought it otherwise. If I saw this in a half price books, I wouldn't buy it.
Add that to the long list of things on the show I didn't know anything about.
So
This
obviously,
like buy, but not think it's worth anything. I'd be like, yes.
So Beagle must be the writer because that's how they do it for the R.R. Martins or the Stephen Kings. They all get like top billing on the comics, right? So
Yep.
Beagle must be the writer.
Yep.
And so it's probably signed by Beagle. Oh, I just sent one of these to CGC. You tell me this is sold for $930?
Yep.
Yes, I just paid $3 for it.
Score.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. Not bad. This one is another one that I remember from this is one of the books that like my top 10 books that I never am able to find. And that's Primer number 2. First appearance of Grendel. This is one of those amazing books as a kid. When you grew up on Wizard, you knew about this book. A CGC 9.8 sold for $5,600.
Yeah, previous high was $3,200.
So we're this is John Z always misses the shows when we talk about his shit the most.
I know. Silver Surfer number 3 and 9.6 sold for just under 16, and that is pretty amazing. $16,000 for a Silver Surfer number 3, 9.6.
If you had told me 3 was going to sell for more than 4, I'd have told you needed psychiatric treatment a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you know what? I'm looking up something. 19.6. Let's go with that. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look up another price real quick. I'm almost there. We're gonna look about this really cool guy. So what grade was that?
9.6.
9.6. All right. So let me just make sure that Iron Man 55 still sells. All right. So Iron Man 55 in 9.6 sells for $2,800.
2,800
in January 2021.
I fucking give up.
I give up, right?
I give up.
Are you gonna tell me this guy is gonna have more impact on this whole goddamn universe than fucking Thanos? Get out of here, dude. This is absolutely preposterous, dude. Yeah. So
Crazy time. You want to know how crazy it is? This is how crazy it is.
It sold for 45 in 2020, but 2,800 for Iron Man 55, and Stupid Mephisto just sold for 5 times that. Get out of here, dude.
How about this, brother? Transformers number 1.
I fucking can't.
9.9 sold for $44,000.
And it's not the only 9.9. If it was the only 9.9, I would get it. There's 3 9.9s. There's not 3 9.9s of a book released last week. This was full of shit. You know what I mean? There's not 3 9.9s of anything that came out last week, but there's 3 9.9s of this somehow. And my friends, people, everybody's getting hammered on copper because they don't even give out 9/8 anymore. But there's a bunch of 9/9s floating around for their homies.
Murdered on copper. Murdered.
Oh, slaughtered, dude. Slaughtered. I feel for a couple of people I've sent things for. I'm like, temper your expectations. I hate to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. There's no more free 9/8s. And just being honest.
All right. Well, we're going to run through this last set. This is some card and stuff going. Here we got the Zion Prisms, just the base rookie from the Panini Prism sets, and the PSA 10 are selling for getting close to that $1,000 range again. They're at $710.
I'm great on all mine regardless.
Yeah. Yep. Here we go. We got the Tatis 2019 Topps Chrome Refractor sold. A PSA 10 sold for $1,055. This is interesting. Kobe, we talk about Kobe. Any Kobe rookies are going for ridiculous money. But then here's a 96, 97 Topps, the raw, right? And they just say well-centered PSA 910 could be. It's just a raw card. And it's sold for $768. A PSA 10 sold for $7,100.
That's a tough 10 though.
I don't care. That's crazy.
I can see the well-centered was off, by the way.
If Kobe stuff is going crazy, so is the LeBron stuff. How crazy is it? The LeBron Bazooka comic LeBron rookie is sold for $2,300.
Jesus.
Optic Football is being released in Walmarts and Targets. The mega boxes are selling from anywhere from like $140 to $180 on eBay.
How much are they at Walmart?
I think they're like $40 max, 40. Right? Yeah, 40.
$39.99.
Yeah,
okay.
So there you go. I haven't seen any yet, but they're out there. This is an interesting one. This is a card that I wish I would have bought before this all. This is one of those cards that I really wish I would have gotten a hold of. The 92 Classic Draft Picks Derek Jeter card, the foil edition. PSA 10 sold for $1,550. Look at this. How about this? When cards are going crazy, when a freaking Allen and Ginter cryptocurrency card sells for $275.
I don't know what that fucking means.
Now we're gonna get crazy.
Out of here.
Now we're gonna get crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Stein talked about this a couple shows ago. The Grogu PSA 10s are selling for $500, around $500. Of course, these are based on the 77 Series 1 Topps design. Here's some Series 1 Topps design goodness. A PSA 8 Luke Skywalker Christ. Sold for $3,000, right?
I'm a fucking asshole, dude. I left a box of these behind.
Yeah, a PSA 8.
I should just drive and go try to get that box.
A Han Solo PSA 8 sold for $350.
We'll just break in his house, bro. Fuck it.
A PSA 8 Obi-Wan sold for $223.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep.
For those Star Wars fans out there that know what the real quote unquote first cards are of Star Wars, you know about the Wonder Bread cards. Here's a 77 PSA 10 Luke Skywalker Wonder Bread card that sold for $5,600.
Jesus.
How about a PSA 9 Luke Skywalker from the Green series, which I think might have been Series 3? I can't remember what yeah. $405 for a PSA 9. Here's the crazy stuff. We talk about how expensive wax is. A Star Wars Series 1 box certified by a baseball card exchange, like we always talk about, $36,000. $36,000, ladies and gentlemen. A Series 2 sold for like $8,000, and a Series 3 sold for like $4,000, I think. Here we go.
Well,
Garbage Pail Kids. A PSA 8 Garbage Pail Kids of Adam Bomb. This is a PSA 8 sold for almost $1,000, $978. A PSA 8.
Dude, I think I should grade those minis, huh?
Yes.
And that doesn't even present that well. Look how off center that one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see that's 3070 or something.
How about this? Just a pack, an unopened pack. Not the box, an unopened pack of Garbage Pail Kids Series 1, $320. Not even certified.
More than my grandpa got me for 25 cents.
Yes.
Dude, you could hire those back clothes, dude.
Yeah. Let's end it with some interesting comic card stuff. A 93 Marvel Masterpiece Spider-Man PSA 10 sold for $1,275.
Wow. I mean, that's what I would pay for that.
I've talked about the Fleer Metal. Yeah, I've talked about the Fleer Metal on here before. You guys, if you guys see the Fleer Metal out there, they're worth always taking a look at. If you can pick up any Fleer Metal and unopened wax, do it. Here's the 95 Fleer Metal boxes, 2 boxes of the 95 Fleer Metal Marvel cards sold for $2,231. For all those people that are Fortnite fans or have kids that are Fortnite fans, who would have ever thought that the Fortnite cards that you saw in Walmart that you thought were nothing are now selling mega boxes for $600?
You know how much Panini, like Prism football I left last year waiting for Prism basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking 10 blasters every store, going by 20 stores, driving from OC to the desert, like every day.
Yep, me too. Me too. And how about this? This is let's end it on a little Cara Dune love. A 2020 top Star Wars Mandalorian Gina Carano Cara Dune card sold for $350.
Not graded.
Good
Not
deal.
graded. Yeah. So goes to show you guys that it is crazier than we could ever think, and I'm a little bummed out that PSA prices went up, but I'm glad that we got these pop shippers we're going to try out so we can send some goodies in. And it's just craziness. So I want to remind everybody that to win that Vision, First White Vision, the West Coast Avengers,
50 cents. I paid 50 cents, so don't feel too bad about it.
Number 45.
I'll try to send you something else cool too.
Make sure to leave a kind comment below when this show is done being presented live. Leave a kind comment below and let us know what your favorite moment of WandaVision is. And we'll pick a winner for that for next week. Other than that, please make sure to take a look at the GoFundMe for Flipside family member Corbin's little brother for a horrific event that happened this last weekend. The information for that is in the description below. Make sure to go give Odfel a follow on IG and all of her amazing social medias. There will have a link tree available for that in the description below. Make sure to check out her and Nico's interview that was aired last Saturday. Really, really good interview. Done very well. Just killer production on that, man. Let me tell you. Thank you.
Yeah, and make sure to harass her into coming back and joining us more often on the podcast.
Amen. Amen. And you guys, thank you so much for everybody out there that shows kindness and love to this channel. Remember, honesty in comics in 2021. Integrity is what you do when nobody's looking. Adios.
Hey.